Hello, welcome. I am Kerry and this is Awakening Tarot. So basically what I'm doing here is another video. It's about the 10th video I've done. No, it's not. It's the third one. This is the third one. And basically what it is an introduction to the channel, to welcome you to the channel if you've just found it, or if you've been watching for a while and you're just kind of like interested in hearing me describe the channel and talk about what I do, because I think I'm getting better at describing it. It's quite hard to put in a nutshell what we do, isn't it? Because like we all do crazy different things, and it's like, how do I describe what I do? It's quite difficult. So I've kind of planned out and I've written down what I do so that I can put it all in a nutshell for you. And I'm going to make it really super simple to start off, just by going through, what Awakening Tarot is, the work I'm doing on the channel with the tarot readings, if you want to book in, what the process is. And then I'm going to move more into like what my spiritual beliefs are and my history, stuff like that, if you're still kind of interested in listening by that point. So this is what this is about. So basically, I probably look a bit weird today because it's Sunday and I had a really tiring day yesterday. So anyway, basically, I'm sending you lots of love, lots of peace wherever you are on Gaia. And I work from the heart chakra, okay? So this is where I'm working from. Now, the readings that I do on this channel are mainly relationship based, but I do a health, wealth and abundance reading. And the reason why I do like mostly relationship readings is because it's our relationships that really touch us in the most deepest places, especially intimate relationships, family relationships, very close friendships, and obviously love relationships. They basically touch us in the deepest places and they trigger the most deepest parts of us. And that actually accelerates our awakening. So that's why relationships are very interesting and very triggering. And that's why you see a lot of tarot card readers doing relationship readings all the time. So that's the reason I tend to do relationship readings. However, I'm on path of consciousness. So my kind of vibe really is to move away from the need of an attachment and to become really rooted in spirit, so that you are the one love and you're not relying on an attachment to somebody else to make you happy. Because as you can imagine, that is very 3D, and it's a very third dimensional view of life, and it actually creates more suffering within you. So the readings are dealing with relationships mainly, because it's helping accelerate our awakening. Now, you can watch any video on this channel. I've got tons and tons on here now. I mainly deal with daily relationship readings. I don't really go into the monthlies. Every time I've tried to go into monthlies, it just doesn't work for me. My spirit guides have always said to me from day one, you're going to be doing daily tarot card readings, and that's just the way I'm working. So I'm sticking with that now. I think it's just because I really like to work with the energy right around the time. However, because time is actually an illusion, you can actually just tune into any video on my channel that you're drawn to, and it may hold a message for you at that given point, right? So that's why they're all there. And so yeah, you don't have to watch it on a particular day. Now, the other thing, obviously, if you know your astrology chart, you know your sun sign, rising, your moon, your Venus, maybe any other types of aspects of your astrology chart, by all means, you can look into different zodiac videos. I've started up doing the playlists quite recently, so not all the videos are in the playlists, but all the new ones go straight into your star signs. But I've got, obviously, you can look way back where I've got videos from like months and months ago for your star sign. It's just, unfortunately, I can't go through every single one and put them into the playlist. It would just take me forever. Basically, if you want to book in for a reading, you're very welcome. All you've got to do is email me, or you can message me on Facebook, Awakening Tarot, or you can Instagram me on awakening.tarot, or you can fill out a booking form, and I do put the link underneath the videos if you go into the section underneath the video. So yeah, and then I'll email you after you fill out that booking form. So they're the ways you can book in. Now, I don't charge ridiculous amounts because I don't believe in selling myself out to the matrix, you know. And also, the other thing, if you want to make a donation, you're very welcome. Every time you book in, every time you make a donation, you're helping me keep the channel going. You're helping me just be able to stay in this non-matrix existence, basically. So it's very much appreciated, you know, and one love for that. Now, the other thing is, if you do book in, yeah, I do basically work with names. So if you give me, what I really need is the full name, original names of the people that you're talking about, because it might be you want to know about a relationship, yourself, somebody else, or other people in your life. So I will always ask you for full names. Nicknames are useful too, but I need the original names. And then photos as well, like if you can email me a photo or message me a picture of the people, really helps as well. And also your question, because tarot cards can be read in multiple ways, and once I've kind of got your question, I know exactly what, I don't know what it is, but that's how my spirit guides, they just zone me right in, and then it's like boom, I'm in there. Okay, and then I can get to it. If you're sort of like holding back on a question, that's not really going to help your reading. What you're going to find is by the end of the reading, you're going to have this burning question, you're going to come out of it, and it's going to be too late because we just spent an hour doing your reading. Do you see what I mean? So, you know, you need to sort of like work with me, just bring it out, whatever it is you need to know. Give me a couple of sentences, just explaining, you know, the situation, like very brief, like 1 or 2 sentences, and then boom, I can go in for you. It's how my spirit guides work with me. They will show me certain things according to people's names, according to what people look like facially, and also in your question, straight away I'll get shown stuff by my spirit guides. It's just how I work. And then obviously the cards, clearly they're gonna always speak the truth, right? So we get it all, we get it all there through the reading that I do for you. And I will do your reading on WhatsApp video call, or Facebook Messenger video call, or Skype, sometimes FaceTime. You know, they're the usual ways I work at the moment. You know, that's basically the nutshells of like the tarot channel and the tarot readings if you want to book in. So the other thing as well, if you just want to learn more about moving to a deeper state of consciousness, you know, it's like you're very tired of the matrix, you're very tired of the suffering, you're very tired of the twin flame, or you're very tired of the soulmate, you know, you're very tired of just feeling totally disenfranchised with the matrix and the 3D reality, and you just feel lost generally, and you're just trying to reconnect back to self, reconnect back to spirit. But what I'm doing is moving you to a deeper level of consciousness, to your original consciousness. You know, that's the journey I'm on, to basically navigate away from the ego back to the true self. So, you know, I can do sessions on that, consciousness sessions, okay? So some people call themselves like a consciousness coach or whatever. I just say, you know, you can book in with me for a tarot reading. Once you get to know me, you've had a couple of tarot readings. Sometimes people like to just go, Kerry, I don't need a reading, but I just want to be able to like just talk. And, you know, because this person's, you know, working on really moving away from the ego and the conditioning and just wanting to go deeper into their consciousness, you know, so you can book in for that as well. So I just want to say thank you for subscribing, thank you for supporting the channel. I know some of you have been watching this channel for ages, and you are definitely part of my soul family. And if you found the channel, okay, so now I'm moving on, so if you're still watching, like, thank you. Yeah, if you are watching regularly, you are part of my soul family, because this channel obviously holds a frequency. Every channel on YouTube does hold a frequency. So it's like, you know, if you're drawn to this channel time and time again, it's because your frequency, my frequency, we're sort of on this soul journey. We're on this kind of frequency path together. We're kind of at the same, you know, a similar trajectory. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's why I say you're part of my soul family if you watch this channel regularly. I know you are, because when I talk to you and you book in for readings, I seriously know it, because the stuff that some of you come out with, some of the stuff you say, and some of you book in with me and I look at you and you look like me. And we actually look the same. I mean, it's just mad. So I just love you so much. Anyway, so the other thing I want to say is, if another way to know if sort of like you're in my soul family, or like this channel is for you, is like if your life kind of fell apart in the last 5 years, right? If in the last 3 to 5 years there's just been a total decimation of your life, or you just know your life has just been gradually, you know, like your old 3D life has just been gradually disintegrating down, and it's like you might feel lost, you might feel this is totally out of alignment, like I need to start from ground zero, build my life back up again. If you're on that path, you know, you found the right place, because that's what I've been going through basically. So you know, basically it's really because you're part of the growing consciousness on Gaia. Obviously there was like this mass awakening around, I think it was 2011, 2012, and I was part of that. And then, you know, it was like 2019, we were headed for this, I can't remember the name of it, but it was like another big change. And that kind of happened for me. It was 2020, wasn't it? So that's where this kind of acceleration has happened with just this consciousness, this growing consciousness is just really, you know, growing and accelerating. So you're part of that, you see. If your life's been falling apart, it's not because there's anything wrong with you. If you feel like you've been out of alignment for quite a while and you've been trying to navigate yourself into the true self, the true spirit you know you are to be, but it's hard because you're surrounded by this very dense matrix, this very dense 3D reality. You know, you're not alone, because that's exactly what I've been doing, you know. And you know, it's like we're all doing it together, yeah. And we are the growing consciousness on humanity, on Gaia. And we're here to shine the light of consciousness, the true self, you know, to shine that light of consciousness onto Gaia. And it's hard to do that when you are surrounded by a very dense matrix, when you are surrounded with people who have a lot of ego. Maybe you've been through narcissistic relationships. Maybe you've even had narcissistic traits yourself, you know. You might have gone through all sorts of lower energies, and it's like now, the last few years, you've been sort of gravitating, wanting to unplug from the matrix, and really moving into a more 5D and beyond. They call it like the new earth. Everyone's talking about the new earth. I mean, it's just basically the levels of consciousness that humanity kind of naturally evolves through, and it's been happening from the beginning of time. But at the moment, there is groundbreaking stuff happening, you know, in terms of consciousness, because people are now in little pockets all over Gaia, actually transcending the ego, and that's actually happening, you know. There's still a lot of narratives saying that you can't transcend the ego, you need the ego, all of that type of thing, but that's a very lower, denser energy, and it's not the truth, because the truth is, you know, we are the consciousness already. And we've just kind of forgotten it, you know. We lost our connection to consciousness, we lost our connection to source, because the ego is very distracting, because it is constantly getting pulled into the matrix, you know, because the matrix has a lot of distractions, temptations, desires, and addictions, and triggers as well, you know. The matrix is very highly triggering, so it keeps the ego rising all of the time, and that's where we get locked into the samsara. So you know, it is perfectly possible to transcend that way of life and that dysfunctional pattern. You know, it is a karmic pattern, and it's not easy to break it because we've been living like that for thousands of lifetimes. But there's something going on in humanity now where there are pockets of people all over Gaia, you know, working on a daily basis to transcend the ego, to release the false self, to release the karmic patterns, and to come home to being the true self, you know, the spirit, the true essence, who you are, to not subscribe to the matrix, to society, to completely unplug from it, but not just physically by living in a ashram or living off grid, because you can live off grid, but you can still have tons of ego, right? So it's basically transcending the ego, transcending the false self to be the true consciousness, which is source vibration, because you are obviously a divine, powerful being, and you embody source vibration. We just keep getting pulled into the ego because it's the pattern that we've been conditioned in, because we've been conditioned to look to the matrix for everything, you know. And when you look to the matrix, it gives rise to your ego. When you pull away from the matrix and you say, no, I don't need the distractions of the matrix, I don't need the addictions, I don't need the attachments, I don't need the codependent relationships, I don't need the twin flame even, you know, then what you're doing is you're coming back to the true self. You're abiding in the self. And that's what consciousness is all about. It's abiding in the self, to be source vibration. So then you're not needy for these attachments. You can let go of the twin flame attachment. I never say cut cords with people, because that is not one love. That is not... When you are the one consciousness, in a higher state of consciousness or a deeper state of consciousness, you can connect to everything in the universe, everything on Gaia. So you don't need to cut cords with people. That's a very sort of like 4D spiritual idea. You know, and so not needing the attachments, reducing your neediness, you know, that's really where I want to be. That's where I want everyone on this channel to be, so that you're not locked into this samsara, you know, with relationships, which you see on lots of other tarot channels, and it's, you know, it's hard. So we're moving out of that, you know, we're moving away from that. So, and not allowing the matrix to trigger you so much either, because the matrix is going to trigger you every day of your life with various challenges, and those challenges will keep coming. But it's, you know, the less you subscribe to the matrix, the less it can infiltrate you, the less it can have that hold over you and trigger you in those really deep ways, that can make you very unconscious at the time. Because when you're triggered, it can make you feel very unconscious and do unconscious things. So it's centering ourselves in source vibrations, centering ourselves in spirit, so that the matrix, all right, you can have a go, you can trigger me, and you might trigger me for a day or a few hours or maybe a few days. But, you know, we're coming back to self. So less and less the matrix can do that to you. Less and less the matrix can make you suffer. So the thing is as well, with Path of Consciousness, you know, ultimately we're here to, like I said, transcend the ego, live from the heart chakra. Live from the heart chakra, be the true self, let go of the ego, the false self, because that's just taking you into distractions. And once you are living from the heart chakra as the true self, which is, you know, what I'm on the path to doing, you know, then you're in this higher vibration, you're in source vibration, yeah? And there's not so much mind activity there anymore. In fact, hopefully at some point there's no mind activity, because you're just very present in the moment, embodying your true nature, embodying source consciousness, embodying the heart chakra. And, you know, that is abiding in the self. You know, you view the world as unreal. You view the matrix as being unreal, as Maya, illusion. And, you know, that is really what the path of consciousness is. And it's just, then you're just abiding in the self, and you're basically living out your daily activities that spirit brings you, and you're surrendering everything to spirit, and you're saying to spirit, I know source consciousness is who I am, and therefore I allow spirit to guide my life. So I just do the daily activities as per my divine plan, as per is predestined to me according to my past karmas from past lives, because that's already laid out, you know. And so then you can relax, because it's like you're not the doer, spirit is the doer, and you can leave everything up to spirit. So you don't need to worry anymore or worry about the future, because spirit will, you know, it's all predestined. Spirit will bring you all the experiences you need, and everything like that according to your karmas. So that is living a much more conscious life, and as to your true vibration of source consciousness. You see, and whereas if you keep going into the ego, you're gonna keep going back into the matrix all of the time, searching for things, clinging onto attachments, and going in the wrong direction, the opposite direction of spirit, you see. And it's distracting, it takes you off path, it takes you out of alignment, because, you know, you're going into the matrix. The 3D is very dense, it's a lower vibration than source. So it's how can I say, it's like you know, it's pulling you into a different vibration. And that's okay if things are coming into your awareness and there's activities that come up to you, but you're not going searching for things or getting obsessed or addicted or attached. And that's the difference, you see. So that's kind of consciousness work in a nutshell. And there's just one thing I'll just share with you, because you know, if you've watched this, if you've watched me this far, there's 21 minutes of this, hopefully, you know, hopefully some of you have. And if other people, at least they watched the beginning part and they knew about the tarot readings. But this guy, Ramana Maharshi, you may have heard of him, you know. And basically he, I think he died about 100 years ago, something like that. I don't know. He was born about 150 years ago, I believe. In any case, he lived a very conscious life. He renounced everything. He lived as the true source vibration. He transcended the ego. And it wasn't a religion or anything like that. I don't subscribe to religion, because religion is just man-made. and you know, Ramana Maharshi didn't subscribe to a religion. He just lived as source vibration, just as consciousness, you know. No ego, just living as the conscious one love. And that book is very beautiful if you decide to get it. It's very, very small. You see, that's the thing. It's very small because it's just about being the consciousness. So that's why it's called Awakening Tarot. Ultimately, you know, that's why I do daily readings, and I don't go really far ahead with my readings, because it's just working with the now and seeing what vibrations I'm picking up on in the now. You know, on the channel sort of thing. If you do a one-to-one reading with me, I will be able to see a bit more, because how my spirit guides work with me, they will show me things. They'll usually show me things like, you know, what maybe your biggest barriers are, obstacles are to overcome in this incarnation, and things like that. You know, and I'll be able to see as well, if you show me a person, I'll be able to see how much ego they've got, and how, you know, maybe what issues they've got, what obstacles they've got, you know, because, and whether it's viable, you know, whether it's really going to be a viable connection, because your relationships, our connections are just here to awaken us, really. Ultimately, we want to transcend that and not be needy for attachment, you know, because then it's the one love, isn't it? And then we're really in source vibration. And then, you know, then things get added on to you because you don't need them anymore. Then everything gets added on. And that's what Eckhart Tolle talks about. So, you know, so welcome. Thank you. And if you want to contact me, you're very welcome. And I'm sending you lots of love, lots of peace, wherever you are on Gaia. And enjoy the channel. And I do love the comments. I love reading them and connecting with you all. So thank you. One love.